But this standard is not a measure of how we can evaluate the condition of our society. It cannot measure the health of our children, the quality of our education, the joy of their play.
Yet the gross national product does not allow for the health of our children, the quality of their education, or the joy of their play.
Let us pledge that our generation of Americans will pay any price, bear any burden, accept any challenge, and meet any hardship to secure the blessings of prosperity and the promise of opportunity for our children. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty. And I started thinking as I was coming over here, why is it that Joe Biden is the first in his family ever to go to a university?
Why am I the first Kinnick in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why is Glenys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
No, it's not because they weren't as smart. It's not because they didn't work as hard. It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
Does anybody really think that they didn't get what we had because they didn't have the talent or the strength or the endurance or the commitment? Of course not. It was because there was no platform upon which they could stand.
Hey, welcome back to Inside Four Walls. I'm your host, Faust. Now, we go to a story all about a lying, backstabbing conservative. You know, just another politician as they come as far as I'm concerned. And let me start by saying, if you lied to your constituents to get elected, you should absolutely be bounced and forfeited from office. And I'm going to keep that energy as we go forward. But you see before me, there's this thing saying, get rid of your ads so we can make money. And to you, Fox News, I say, fuck you. I'm going to the archive, bitch. Now, let's hop into this story about this backstabbing, limey fuck. And he won his election. He's going into office in January. And man, this is some fucking, he's doing some Clintonian backpedaling here to cover his ass. But you know what? First off, I wanted to shout out to Styx, because I was sitting here scrolling through, looking for things to talk about, and was kind of bored for shit to talk about. Styx popped this one up. I was doing some background research into an episode I was working on already. This one popped up, grabbed my attention, and, I'm still waiting for my other project from earlier to finish rendering, so, this will be a little quick one I can get out of the way. Just bonus content, really get that algorithmic flow, shall we? So let's continue. New York Rep-elect George Santos confesses to lies about his resume report. Santos previously claimed to work for two major financial institutions and graduate from college. Claims he said on Monday were not true. Oh boy. Oh boy. And as I said, this disqualifies you from office, but I'm keeping this energy as I continue. So, I'll be right back. So, I'm over here at Fox 5, a local Fox station, not my local Fox station. It's the New York one. This is a New York rep. And by the way, a New York Republican, just mind you, that's a New York Republican. Basically just a Democrat, but went with the R anyway. So guaranteed rhino to fucking begin with. So we're going to go watch this coverage here, and we'll go from there. Man, Fox News does like its bimbos. But let me just say this. Honey here's got a masculine jawline.
Says he will tell his story next week. He's been accused of lying about everything from where he went to school to where he worked.
And now there are questions about his claims that his grandparents are Holocaust survivors. Jody Goldberg talked to Jewish leaders on Long Island. Congressman-elect George Santos taking to Twitter on Thursday, insisting he has a story to tell and remains committed to deliver the results he campaigned.
So the whole tweet here, because I'm not going to read it, says, to the people of New York 03, which is like precinct 3, I have my story to tell, and it will be told next week. I want to assure everyone that I will address your questions and that I will remain committed to deliver the results I campaigned on: public safety, inflation, education, and more. Happy holidays to all. Motherfucker, you got coal in your stocking.
On. This is in response to a bombshell report from the New York Times suggesting the incoming House representative is living a life of lies, including his educational and professional backgrounds.
Drill House
Now,
of
the
Cards.
latest claim coming into question: his Jewish ancestry, according to a
Well, much like me, he's Jew-ish, if you follow my drift. There's some family there, you know, no matter how distant, you know. Yeah, you went to dinner with him at least once, right? So you're Jew-ish. Not Jewish, just Jew-ish.
report in the forward. Santos lied about his grandparents fleeing Europe during the Holocaust.
That crosses the line of what any of us should do, much less any political leader.
Political analyst Lawrence Levy says if this latest accusation is true, the 34-year-old Republican may not be seated.
Orthodox Jews have enormous influence within the Republican Party.
Yeah, no
and they
shit.
may be able to put pressure along with evangelical Christians.
Oh, you mean... Oh, yeah, no shit. Yeah, thanks, buddy. We already know why the Republican Party blows Israel so fucking hard, right? Hey, make Israel great again, bro. Remind us of who runs shit. Thank you.
To say, this is just too much, you gotta let him go.
Levy said,
Oy vey, Gentile, you've gone done crossed the line. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, you and this vakakta lie of yours, Gentile. Oy vey. Oh, you can't tell, but I'm rubbing my hands together. Oy vey, I'm mad. Oh, fuck off. Fuck right off into oblivion. Seriously, go fuck back off into oblivion. Tell you what, how about you guys start believing in hell and then fuck off to hell while you're at it, alright? And here's why I'm saying this. No one gives a fuck. Fucking Joe Biden lies about all of his shit. I graduated top of my class. No, he didn't. Like, the bottommost of his class. Like, bottom. Said I got here on a full ride scholarship. No, daddy had a lot of money, motherfucker. Just like Bush's daughters. You didn't get there on IQ, you got in there on fucking daddy's money. But unlike the Bush daughters, you couldn't blow your way to success with the professors. You know, sucks to be you, doesn't it, fella? But Jesus Christ, that's the whole reason we're fucking talking about this, isn't it? Because you offended the Jewish community. Oy vey. Oh boy. Whoa. Fuck you. I'm so tired of this shit, I guarantee you. And again, this is a breaking thing. This is currently like an unfolding investigation. But if he lied about, he lied about being Jewish, and that's what everybody's crying about, not the fact that he lied and defrauded voters to get into office, you guys are just mad that he lied about being Jewish. Jesus Christ. Look, you want me to sit here and act like Kanye doesn't have a fucking point, yet anytime anyone's mad about something, it's because they pissed off the Jews. It's not because they pissed off Christians, or the Mormons, or the Catholics, or the other blank religion. It's only because they went after the one fucking group. If you want to know who's in power, look at who you can't fucking make fun of.
Just Santos's tweet coming days after mounting allegations speaks for itself.
This tweet suggests that Santos and his allies haven't even come to a consensus, much less how to deal with the specific allegations.
The New York Attorney General's office
Shut up, Jewish Mike Huckabee.
confirmed they're
Huckelstein.
On this vote.
looking into a
Whoa,
number of
what
issues
the
related
fuck?
to
225.
Hold up. Whoa,
Days
what? C-SPAN radio randomly turned itself on.
Santos, and locally calls are growing louder for his resignation even before he is seated.
I do not think that he should be able to sit on a committee related to national security or one that receives intelligence information because he has shown that he is not trustworthy.
Deborah Pearl.
God, can you interview somebody who's not Jewish? I know she hasn't said she's Jewish, but just fucking take a look. Look for 3 seconds. I mean, the nose knows single-handedly. Now, again, I would be more in agreement. Again, I think you lie to get elected. Get the fuck out of office, you piece of shit. On the other hand, if he had a D next to his name, this wouldn't even be a fucking conversation. They would have said what I said in the beginning. Well, he's a politician. Or they would have done anything they could do, any mental backflip or gymnastics to strenuate what fucking makes him not lying through his teeth. They do it to Swalwell. When it came out that Eric Swalwell was fucking fang against him that good bang bang. They're like, oh, well, he was blinded by love and passion. If you're willing to write off sticking your dick in a Chinese communist spy and also giving her national security detail, just a fucking accidental blindness of the love, go fuck yourself, right? But, oh, the big fucking Oompa Loompa got a bunch of fucking boxes at his fucking Florida house. Better go get them. Fuck you. Fuck you and your entire fucking party. For fucking real, dude. Look, oh, the Koch brothers, they're giving too much money to the Republicans. Sam Bankman-Fried is the second largest donor to the Democrat Party, and you say fuck all about it. Right? Hey, what religion is Sam Bankman-Fried? I'm just fucking... I mean, I know, but I think you do too. And it's funny, right? I'm not saying all of them, but fuck, why are all of them Jewish too? I mean, sure, yeah, there's a lot, there's your odd Protestant or Catholic in there, your odd atheist in there too, but why is it like the fucking fucking Epstein, dude? You get all these fucked up people. Adolf Hitler was Jewish, Zelensky's fucking Jewish, you got all these fucking people. Every time we read about some fucking corrupt financier or some lying politician, it's always because either they fucking piss off the Jews. And I know Dave Chappelle's like, oh, he said the craziest thing, nothing good comes after the two words, the Jews. But why is it always comes down to some, fucking Goldblatt Sheckelstein was the fucking secret financier. This just seems to be a popping up trend. And then you got fucking Harley Pasternak, the fucking trainer, who's also Jewish, doping up all these Hollywood celebrities. The list just seems to go fucking on. Fucking Harvey Weinstein. What the fuck? Again, I'm not saying, not all Jews, but why does it seem to be an overwhelming amount of them? I'm just, in the words of Jesse Ventura, I'm just asking questions. And also, this page just got the Democrat stare. Like, am I really supposed to take the fucking Master Yao Guai here from fucking, the turtle guy from fucking, Kung Fu Panda seriously here? I think she should step down. Is it because of, well, why are you saying it specifically? Are you saying it because he lied? Or is there no... You know what, let's just watch.
Berlin policy director of a nonpartisan nonprofit has said louder for his resignation even before
Judy Goldberg. Okay.
I do not think that he should be able to sit on a committee related to national security or one that receives intelligence information because he has shown that he is not trustworthy.
Deborah Perlin, policy director of a nonpartisan nonprofit committed to transparency and accountability, says while she's open to hearing his side, it's alarming Santos.
Damn, he got them sock monkey ears. Jesus. Imagine if he got into, like, martial arts. Imagine what his cauliflower ear would look like. That's a fucking...
is waiting to speak out.
The fact that he hasn't come forward and said anything, I think speaks everything that we need to know for the moment.
In a statement this afternoon, NASA's Republican committee chair said voters deserve sincere accounting. As for Santos, his attorney declined to provide details about what will be discussed. Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
Delightful. Okay. Now let's move on, shall we? New York Rep. Republican-elect George Santos admitted on Monday to lying during his campaign about his work experience in education, according to reports. Santos, who will represent a portion of Long Island in the House of Representatives, made a confession during an interview with the New York Post, though he insisted the lies would not stop him from serving his full 2-year term as congressman. So wait, he admitted it? Like, he came out and said it? Like, so he's the one who ousted himself, huh? Is that what I'm reading? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it sounds like what I'm reading. Quote, I am not a criminal. Well, you're a politician, so shut the fuck. I mean, dude, come on. He told the Post during an exclusive interview, quote, this controversy will not deter me from having good legislative success. I will be effective. I will be good. With just weeks until he takes the oath of office, Santos' professional resume and his religious affiliations have come under scrutiny. His campaign, with just weeks until he takes the oath of office, Santos' professional resume and his religious affirmation have come under scrutiny, he wrote. Sorry, everything just kind of crashed suddenly. So I just hit record again, guessing where I was, continuing. Really sorry about that. He wrote in his campaign biography that his grandparents were born in Ukraine. Yeah, well, hey, according to Mitch McConnell, the Republicans' number one priority right now is funding Ukraine. So I guess you Americans can starve the people you vote to represent you, or at least allegedly voted to represent you, will continue to sail you upriver while they enrich themselves while the Titanic sinks. How does it feel to be living through the collapse of Rome right now? I'm just curious. Were born in Ukraine and escaped the Holocaust by fleeing to Belgium before fleeing again to Brazil, leading some to question whether he was in fact Jewish as he claimed. Okay, so let's get a little technical here. If his great-grandma was Jewish, right? Well, let's say his great-grandma was Jewish, but his dad... Fuck it, let's say his grandma is Jewish, right? But this grandma gives birth to his dad. Well, if he's not racially Jewish, then it doesn't count. Like he's not Jewish. Judaism is passed down through the mother directly. So if you are, you have a grandma, great-grandma, blah, 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 and you're the first male born, well, congratulations, you're Jewish, but your kids will not be. It's complicated, it's convoluted. I'm not the best person to fucking explain it to you. You can go do your own research on your own time. I really don't care about this whole detailed argument, but I'm just saying there is some levity here. So he just said his grandparents were, so that could be completely true, right? His grandma could be Jewish, and then she gave birth to a boy. That boy became Mr. Santos's dad here, and through that, Jewishiness wasn't properly. But let's just continue. Again, playing devil's advocate in a weird way here. And last week, the New York Times reported that claims made by Santos about being employed in the financial industry and working for Goldman Sachs, Olive, and Citigroup could not be verified. He didn't. Okay, well, that's a good argument against him not being Jewish. He didn't work in major hedge funds. So if he didn't work in these major hedge funds or work with money, that could be a good disqualifier for the argument that he might be Jewish. He may not be, after all. So I want to throw a nickel and down on the ground in front of him and see what he does. While speaking with the Post on Monday, Santos confessed that he, quote, never worked directly for Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, suggested that he probably could have used a better choice of words. Instead, Santos said he worked for Link Bridge, which did business with both Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. Okay, so again, devil's advocate here, right? Maybe he's like a salesman rep, right? Like he worked for Link Bridge, but he was like he was like the main dude for the go-between between Goldman Sachs and Citigroup from Link Bridge. So if that was the case, then he did work with, maybe not work for, but he worked with. And if I'm reading it, he never worked directly for. It's not saying and let's see, the previous claim said he worked with, about him being employed in the financial industry and working for. Okay, working for is not the same as working with. Gotcha, okay. I thought for a minute he said working with, and I was like, well, that entirely changes what the context here is. But nope, he said working with. Though I will point out here that working with is not in quotations. To the people of New York 03, I have already read that part. Moving on. In his role with Link Bridge, Santos claimed he helped make, quote, capital introductions between investors and clients. So that sounds like what I was just describing, actually. The Post reported, and the two financial institutions were limited partners with partnerships Link Bridge worked with. So even then, I mean, even if it was a limited situation, like a short-time gig, they still would have had a liaison. Why can I not talk right now? Anyway, they would have had somebody to go between, and it sounds like maybe homie was their go-between. We don't know quite yet. Let's see. Santos told the Post he never graduated from college. despite saying he received a degree in 2010 from Broch. I mean, that's not so weird. I was doing Hillsdale. Now, I didn't like... I was part of the benefactor program, if you know what that is, for Hillsdale in 2013. And I wouldn't actually go into high school till later on that same year. So I was technically doing college courses before high school, but at the same time, I didn't get any significant degree till well into high school. So a little bit different. And my degree wasn't actually from Hillsdale. Again, benefactor programs are weird. Let's continue. Quote, I didn't graduate from any institution of higher learning. I'm embarrassed and sorry for having embellished my resume. He told the Post, quote, I own up to that. We do stupid things in life. You mean you do stupid things to get elected? Bit different, homie. You do stupid things to, run the things in other people's lives. Not quite the same. Lives. Santos said he is Catholic, though his grandmother told him stories about being Jewish and converting to Catholicism, he claimed. Alright, so there's that grandmother thing I was talking about, because he said his grandparents were Jewish, so, again, yeah, his grandma... did his grandma give birth to his dad or his mom? So if she's Jewish by race, and she converted to Catholicism, if this grandmother gave birth to this guy's mom, technically speaking, he would still be Jewish. As an openly gay man, Santos accused of... Well, then you're not Catholic, dog. I hate to tell you. You can't be gay and Catholic. Sorry, you try any number of those retarded progressive Catholic groups. Any one of those brain-dead fuckos will take you in, I assure you, but I guarantee you. You're about as Catholic as Joe Biden is, and mind you, Joe Biden's heterosexual, but he's about pro-abortion as they fucking come these days. As an openly gay man, Santos was accused of not being gay because he was married to a woman until 2020. You know, that's actually a pretty good argument. I'm not going to lie, that's actually a pretty good argument for maybe he's not gay. And, again, I rolled my eyes when he said the Ukraine thing. I'm like, yeah, that is pretty topical, so if you're trying to milk that for points, yeah, you would lie and say you're from Ukraine. Fair. Saying he... Let's see, married to a woman up until 2020, Santos addressed those claims with a post on Monday as well, saying he was married to a woman for 5 years, but is now married to a gay man. It's a quick turnaround. All right there, Maya Yiannopoulos. He also confessed to being a deadbeat tenant in Sunnyside, Queens, adding his mother's illness put the family into deep medical debt. Santos' campaign team did not immediately respond to a request for additional information regarding his claims. Ooh boy, these are kind of devious. Let's see. What's this video here? No, can't watch it. Oh, can we watch it? I'm not doing that. Alright, so we're not watching that video. But you know what? I don't even need to add anything to the end of this, really. I want to just say this. If he was literally any other political party, this wouldn't be happening. If it was Green Party, this wouldn't happen. Okay, if it was Libertarian, this would probably happen. But if he was a Democrat, I assure you this wouldn't happen. Because you know who else has lied about being Jewish? Specifically lied about being a Zionist? Joe Biden. And to show the hypocrisy in this man being targeted and attacked this way, and again, I said he lied to his constituents to win an election. He lied for power. The woman earlier didn't give any specific reasons as to why she found him untrustworthy, but I'll say this right now. He lied about, how he got into school. He lied about a bunch of shit. And apparently he lied to the point where he's going to be with a chick. So you have to look like this. He either lied to this chick for a long time, long enough to have kids, or he's lying to us now and lying about his heritage to maintain office. Or to at least get office. And he got office, so he's being sworn in. He's saying he's going to serve his 2 years. This man's a fucking snake, and there's no two ways about it. He needs to be removed from office. Absolutely. But, you know what? If we're talking about liars right now, I know somebody who did the exact same lies. He even did more. He plagiarized speeches, plagiarized entire life events, falsified his history, and lied about graduations. claiming to be the top of his class. Without any further ado, I will not end this episode. Instead, I will pass the mic off to the President of the United States, Joe the brain-dead fuck Biden. Peace out, guys.
Democratic presidential candidate Joseph Biden today faces a controversy. 3 weeks ago at a debate at the Iowa State Fair, he used phrases identical to those delivered by British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock.
Biden seemed to be claiming Kinnock's vision and life as his own.
Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Why is Gladys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania don't come up after 12 hours and play football.
8 hours underground and then come up and play football.
It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform upon which they could stand.
The notion that every thought or notion or idea you'd have to go back and find and attribute to someone, I think is, quite frankly, ludicrous.
The problem here is that Senator Biden told his audience he'd just been thinking about these things, and he failed to give any credit at all to his famous British speechwriter.
You know, I was thinking on the way over here. Now that's a little too much, because as you point out, what's behind the words? What's there? And a lot of people, the rap on Biden has always been that it's just a surface.
I should have said, to paraphrase Neil Kinnock, it's the only time I didn't, and all the times I've ever used it.
But CBS News found a tape of a second instance.
It reappeared in the New York Times with a new charge, that Biden had appropriated a famous litany from the late Robert Kennedy about what the gross national product cannot measure.
It cannot measure the health of our children,
The health of our children,
the quality of our education,
the quality of their education,
the joy of their play,
or the joy of their play.
Biden gave Kennedy no credit. He has also quoted or paraphrased John Kennedy, Hubert Humphrey, and British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock, all without credit.
Joseph Biden admitted today that he committed plagiarism when he was in law school. He said it was a mistake, but that it was unintentional.
He quoted 5 pages of someone else's work without proper citation.
I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again.
He was given an F.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been dumb.
To the political community in Washington, it all seems of a piece. Plagiarism at law school, plagiarism on the stump.
The great communicator. Strike that. The great imitator.
You don't steal verbatim, or when you do, as he did 99% of the time, you give credit.
Biden's critics say he sells himself as a man whose words and visions can inspire a new generation in politics. But if the thoughts, phrases, and visions really belong to others, it's a form of false advertising.
Is it a wise idea, though, to take something that personal, anyway, from another politician and try and appropriate it to your own campaign?
I think it was a stupid thing to appropriate material that was really very personal, that was someone else's.
Most people didn't know who he was, you know, Joe Biden, and now they're going to say, oh yeah, he's the guy who plagiarized.
That's a lot of people.
Politically, that's devastating.
These clips are devastating. He looks like a Joe Biden wind-up doll with somebody else's words coming out.
If they're going to do things that are stupid as well as immoral, then they're probably too dumb to have the job of president.
Voters are going to have to decide whether he was dishonest or dumb.
Senator Joseph Biden may have more explaining to do.
The new questions stem from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Joe Biden was victimized by the truth.
Bye-bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Is Joe Biden dead meat, yes or no?
I think so.
Bob?
Terminal condition.
Terminal. Eleanor.
Yes, unless he comes in third in Iowa.
Morton.
Dying.
I say dead. We'll be right back.